throbbing heart of mine has your resting place become. In the inner recesses your place have I concealed. I have left the world and all of its tumults, and withdrawn from all, that I may with you live. No thought have I, nor opinion, nor other desire save to follow you. And Jacob my father's secret I perceive, now I know how he with you did wrestle. O heart's companion, how sweet you are, high and awesome, how splendid you are, O mighty one, in whose palm a whip, whilst love does your tear ducts bleed. The world cannot contain you, oh how narrow it is. How then can the heart suffice to hold you in? I have left the world and all of its tumults, and withdrawn from all, that I may with you live. I have left all, my Lord, but you. None have I in life's estrangements but you, and the mind have I checked from its wandering. Wherever you are, there shall my thoughts be. Family and friends have I forgotten, nay, even the self, in the love of you. I have forgotten all in your love, O heart's delight. Forget not then your Son. Not distant are you from my spirit, which in the stillness of silence does your call await. In heaven you are indeed, yet every heart living in love is for you a heaven. Your holy throne is a heart emptied of the love of all, and so loves none but you. Behold, the eye have I shut from beholding, that perhaps you I may behold, and the ear too have I emptied, that perhaps to you I may listen. Throbbing heart of mine has your resting place become. In the inner recesses your place have I concealed. A Whisper of Love is the title of a beautiful poem which His Holiness Pope Shenouda III wrote in his cell during his solitary life in the monastery of the Holy Virgin St. Mary in 1951. It is a prayer expressing the deepest feelings of love for God, having left all to follow Him gladly. In the first two lines, Pope Shenouda is meditating on how God occupied his heart, filling it with the comfort of His presence. In the next four lines, he goes on to elaborate how he left the world and the pain of it just to become closer to God and to experience Him. He goes on to talk about how God's compassion is great, that every person has an individual experience with Him. When he says, "Oh, heart's companion, how sweet you are," he is implying that God is always next to you and will guide you into His footsteps. High and awesome, how splendid you are, shows how mighty and magnificent God really is. O mighty one, in whose palm a whip, whilst love does your tear ducts bleed. Even though God is loving, He is going to rebuke you so you can return into the correct path. Because of His unconditional love towards us, when we turn into the wrong path, that causes God to have a troubled heart. Going on to the next two lines, it is saying, no matter how big you think the world is, God is always bigger, and nothing can contain or limit Him. In the next 10 lines, Pope Shenouda is saying that he left everything behind, even family and friends, just to become closer to God and love Him unconditionally. In the 6 lines to follow, Pope Shenouda is implying that even though God is on His throne in heaven, He walks every step with us throughout the way up His path. Behold, the eye have I shut from beholding, that perhaps you I may behold, and the ear too have I emptied, that perhaps to you I may listen. He goes on to explain how he tries to block the world from seeing and hearing anything, so he can focus on God only. In the last 2 lines, Pope Shenouda is saying that God is always inside his heart and filled it with His loving and kind presence.